For the second year in a row, Critical Encounters held a showcase that featured over 200 students' work.
It's about the celebration of all of these students that have engaged with Critical Encounters focus every year, or for that academic year. This year is Rights, Radicals, and Revolutions, and it's amazing, one, to see the collaborative spirit happening between the different departments at our school, because some of the work that we have is from a previous exhibit that happened earlier this year. Some of it is from 5 different students who met each other in this one random class that they took together and then decided to do a project together. To have a celebration on something like Critical Encounters where it is about the students, but it's also about how the students interact with their curriculum, very, very deeply with their curriculum when it comes to something like Rights, Radicals, and Revolutions, is just, I've been inspired since day one.
Definitely really enjoying the time that I had with students, because they're the ones who invest so thoroughly, both in terms of their own intellectual development and their creativity, and also starting to kind of form a sense of civic engagement and feeling that it can be theirs and that there are ways that they can practice creatively and then also really make a change in the communities that they're involved in.
I have 3 classes, and all 3 are taking a look at international and local black culture. Linda's Place is an African-American owned blues club on the south side on 51st and Loomis. And it's the only one owned by an African-American woman. And given the patriarchies in both the black as well as the white community, the idea that a black woman can own a blues club and sustain it for 2.5 decades, we think is important. We're here to remind them that we're in the house, and so is Linda's Place. So what my students did is they did a 30-second commercial.
I've always liked to help people out, and I think this is a great way of a nonprofit organization helping the homeless by selling them 90-cent magazines, and so they could resell it for $2 and make a $1.10 profit. This is just a way to get their lives back on track, make some income and get their own food, get whatever they need, and I just think it's a great thing, so why not showcase it?
It's super important that gay straight alliances and GLBT community centers are open and inclusive for the deaf community, because GLBT deaf folks not only have all that fun stuff of coming out and being gay and all of that mess that comes with that, but they also have that second identity of being deaf or hard of hearing. So not only is it parallel, but it's also doubly important that they have access to these resources.
My reality is these streets, this number, and I can't just change shit up like that. Hey, Living News, let me holler at you. What have you got to say about me now? What have you got to say to me now?
Last week, this old lady, said I took the purse. Jeff, a veteran, took her purse. I have an American flag hanging in my head, and I would go back. I would, if I could. I would go back and fight for these people. I would, in a heartbeat.